you're beautiful, and it's easy to see.
If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be.
So won't you ride with me,
see where this thing goes. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be.
BB Rexa featuring Florida Georgia Line. That's meant to be. It's right here on Dan Radio Style. Hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day. Key to manifesting, I don't know, letting go of what others believe. This is going to be a really quick one, I think, in the big picture. This was a really big moment. I was kind of looking back on it one day, and I wrote down the note, and I was kind of going through some of that old stuff, and I saw it today, and I was like, eesh, yeah, that's actually probably a really good show to go ahead and finish off the week with. It's been a really crazy few weeks for me, so I'm still trying to kind of get used to my new life in this environment, this new job I've got. So still having some issues from time to time as far as getting a daily video, but I've been pretty good. Been a lot better this week than I have been in the past. So one of the key to manifesting in my life, and that was really when I look back on it, when really things started to open up for me, was back with my first love after we broke up, believe it or not. When I was initially with her, I was going to school to be pre-med. I was going to be a doctor. I had it all figured out. I was working at a hospital in the food nutrition department, mind you, but still, I was working in a hospital, and I was talking to doctors and kind of getting to, just, I don't know, it was the direction I was going. I was chemistry major, biochem at the start. And when the breakup occurred, it suddenly wasn't an issue of, am I shaping my life to her needs or to what her family believes? Because they were a very well-off kind of family, and my family wasn't poor by any means, but they were definitely socially far, far up the food chain compared to what I was used to. And I wanted to reach up. I mean, I was a intelligent guy. I wanted to make sure I did the best I could and wanted to marry this girl. I mean, she was the first person I've ever felt that way about. So it was a very profound time for me, right? And then the breakup occurred, and I kind of got to this place where I didn't really care what others thought. I didn't care what others believed about me. I didn't care what they felt I should do. It became more an issue of, what do I want to do with my life? Who do I want to become in my life? What do I enjoy? What do I emulate? What do I want to learn? What's different about me than everyone else that's around me, right? Because kind of one of the things that has really shaped me, and this shapes me professionally, it shapes me personally, it shapes me just in every way, shape, and form, is generally speaking, whenever a mass of people go to one thing, one area, they flock to one section, one understanding, generally I don't go there. It's like everybody else is doing it. All right, I'm going to go do the thing that nobody else is doing. I'm going to go look in the direction where nobody else is looking, or very few people are looking. And I've found some amazing gems, because I've generally speaking found that most people, or the sheeple as I sometimes refer to them, are following whatever they're told, or whatever they're being told, whatever they're being told to believe is really the point of this whole thing. They're being told, here's what you should believe, so thusly here's how you should behave, or here's what you should think, or here's what you should do. Now, again, we've talked before, when you manifest, what you think, what you say, what you do. It's how you manifest, right? And then what you believe is kind of what shapes that. It's what kind of creates that. And that's one of the situations that I was able to finally let go of, was that belief that I had been told or taught in school, that I had been taught by my folks, for that matter, that I had been taught by my girlfriend and her family, that I've been taught by society, by certainly Western society, and worst off even still, in Southern California, one of the phoniest, fakest places in the world. I mean, there's certainly real people here, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of phoniness here. Like, fake breasts are normal. If you don't have them, something must be wrong with you, right? I mean, it's just the whole everything: fake hair, fake lashes, fake everything. It's all about, I want to look like I did when I was 22 for the rest of my life, and I get why. I don't look anything like I did when I was 22, but it is what it is. We all grow. That's part of, I think, what makes life beautiful. But it was that letting go where I was finally able to open myself up to my own understanding of things, my own belief of things. For those of us that are doing law of attraction, finally getting away from that person that's like, what? No, that's crazy. That doesn't work. That's not true. That's their belief, and that's okay. It is perfectly okay not to believe this stuff or not to believe anything for that matter. It doesn't matter to me what others believe. It doesn't change my life. What I believe affects my life. And if I'm inheriting beliefs from other people, if I am assuming what they're telling me is true, and I'm not doing any sort of testing it or any sort of proof finding, any sort of challenging this belief, looking at the evidence in life and saying, well, does that really fit what I'm being told? And in a lot of cases, if it doesn't pass muster, then, wow, it's probably not a good belief to have, right? If it's not serving you, if it doesn't seem true, if it doesn't seem rooted in reality, and we've got to make up some sort of fairy tale to make it real, then I think that creates more of a disharmony or a disunity, or it creates more of a problem in our life when we hold on to beliefs that actually don't serve us, don't help us. And we hold on to them only because we were told by someone we respect, or we were told by somebody that we were told we need to believe. I've hopefully never told, and I certainly don't ever plan on telling anybody ever to believe me, and I've frequently told people you can find these answers anywhere. So the same would apply to me. I don't expect any of you to believe anything I say. I'm trying to get you to think on your own. I'm trying to get you to come to your own conclusions, and I really do try to do that. Now, there might be times where maybe I do offer an idea, right? Someone saying, hey, this isn't working for me. I might say, well, what are you doing? And, well, this is what I'm doing. And it's like, well, okay, that's not working for you. You're right. So maybe stop doing that, right? Let's try something different. And there's a slew of other things. And I've frequently said there's a lot of techniques. What works for you? What works for you is what you should do. If it works for you, if you feel confidence with it, if you feel good when you do it, well, then it's definitely a good idea. If it's not working for you, if you feel frustrated when you do it, even though you've heard everybody and their mother's doing it, that's the way to do it. It's the best way. And you're having a hard time with it. So now you're frustrated because everybody else is having success with this technique and I can't do it. Well, find your way. Well, that's my point. Stop trying to do what everybody else does. Find your understanding of it. Find your belief. Find your way to walk this path. There is a bunch of ways to get to the end line, the end zone. I don't know, the ending. And really, it's just the next start of the next step of next chapter, right? But there's plenty of ways to get to the end of the chapter. Lots of ways to do it. There's no wrong way, for sure, because even when we make mistakes and we fall down and dust ourselves off when we get back up, we've learned something. So again, nothing lost there, nothing hurting us. But when we find our own path, when we find what works for us, then that is the right path for us. So when we can say there is no wrong path, true, there's really no right path for everybody. There's a right path for you. And of course, you're already on it. But it's when we realize that we're on it, that's when it really has some power. And that's what really started to happen with me when my relationship ended with this individual. I suddenly realized this is my life to shape. This is my world to create. And I was new into a lot of these studies. And certainly law of attraction was way down, at least that concept was way down the road. I mean, I was learning aspects of it when I was, in Little League by my father. I mean, he was teaching me imaginal stuff at that point, and it made a big difference in sports. So again, I was learning these things all through my life in weird kinds of ways, and just sort of, have come to find ways that you can be very successful if you kind of go down this path and really follow your belief in your heart and, and try to make intentions as to what you're trying to do and just go for it. Make it happen. Don't settle for anything but that result. And you'll go a long ways when you do that. So letting go of what everyone else believes, letting go of what works for everybody else. Try it. Sure. Yes. Try their technique. If it doesn't feel right for you, that's okay. Try something else. Maybe you're that rare percentage of people that what everyone else is doing doesn't work for you. Don't feel bad. It's been the case with me a lot of times. There's a lot of some of these normal techniques that are very popular that I don't do. I don't do them. It's not that I don't have success doing it. I just don't do them. I've got my own techniques. I've got own things that work. I don't. A lot of people make it far more difficult than this stuff's supposed to be, really, in my opinion. But trying to break it down, trying to give it structure, trying to give people like things to try, okay, it's worth it because I see a benefit to that. But at the same time, to me, it's far simpler. I make an intention. I know what's going to happen. I've been doing this so long, I just don't question it anymore. So I kind of, the intermediate steps aren't there as much. But it does help, when you just kind of let go of what the expectation is and really just do it. Just start finding something that makes you feel better. When you feel better, you're on the right track. That's how you can tell, right? That's how your soul's going to whisper to you. It's going to feel good. It's going to feel right. It's going to, this feels the way I would expect it to. That's the indication that you're on the right track. Hopefully that makes a difference. Hopefully it helps. That's always the big key for me. Again, kept it kind of short. Good for me. It's rare. Going out with a great song by Cheap Trick. The song's called Surrender. It's right here on Dan Radio Style.
Some Indonesian junk that's going